I quit refilling the propane and my husband hosted a raw barbecue. My husband Dan thinks the grill is his kingdom. He's 44, he calls himself the pitmaster and posts photos of ribs like he invented fire. What he doesn't do is buy the propane, swap the tank, clean the grates, or notice when we're low. That's me. For 9 years, that's been me. It started as a small thing. Every couple weeks, I'd load the empty tank in my car, drive to the hardware store, do the exchange, haul the full one back, hook it up. Dan never asked how it got there. One time I mentioned it and he laughed and said, "Babe, propane just kind of shows up. That's the magic of marriage." He thought that was hilarious. So in August, he announces he's hosting the neighborhood cookout. 20-something people. He tells everyone he's doing brisket, burgers, the works. He's been talking about it for 2 weeks at every dinner. People are gonna lose their minds over my brisket. Around that time, the tank hit empty. I could feel it lifting light when I moved it to sweep behind the grill. Normally, I'd have swapped it that weekend. I didn't. I want to be clear. I didn't sabotage anything. I just stopped doing the one job nobody credited me for. I figured he'd notice. He's the pitmaster. Surely the pitmaster checks his own fuel. The Thursday before, he said, "You'll grab drinks and stuff for Saturday, right?" I said, "Sure." He didn't mention propane. I didn't either. Saturday, people start showing up around 4 p.m. Coolers, lawn chairs, somebody's kid with a water gun. Dan's got his apron on, the one that says danger, man cooking. He's holding tongs he hasn't earned. He fires up the grill at 4:30 to get his coals, his flame going. It clicks, it hisses a little, then nothing. He tries again, fiddles with the knobs, crouches down, taps the tank. I'm inside slicing tomatoes, watching through the window. He comes in and says, "Hey, is the grill acting weird for you lately?" I said, "I wouldn't know, it's your grill." He goes back out. 20 minutes go by. The brisket's been sitting out. The burgers are thawing on a tray. People are asking when food's coming and he's saying, "Just getting the temp right, low and slow, folks. There is no temp. There is no low and slow. There is a metal box and cold meat." He comes back in, quieter now. "Do we have a backup tank?" I said, "I don't know, do we?" He stared at me. I stared at the tomatoes. He said, "When did you last fill it?" I said, "I didn't. I stopped." He said, "You stopped what?" I said, "Refilling your propane. It just kind of shows up, remember? Magic of marriage." His face did a thing I'd never seen. Like the floor moved. He said, "There are 20 people out there." I said, "I know, you're fans." He said, "Why wouldn't you just tell me we were empty?" I said, "Because for 9 years you never once asked how it got full." He tried to whisper yell. "This makes me look insane." I said, "You told everyone you're the pitmaster. Pitmasters buy fuel." He ran to the hardware store. It closes at 5 on Saturdays. He got there at 5:10. Meanwhile, his best friend Marco already had the burgers on. Marco flipped one and it was gray outside, raw and cold in the middle. Somebody bit into a burger and made a face. A woman I barely know said, is this cooked?" and set her plate down. Dan gets back at 5:40, no propane, empty-handed, sweating. He walks into a yard full of people holding raw burgers on paper plates. His brisket, the famous brisket, is sitting in its pan, uncooked, going room temperature in the sun. Somebody's husband said, loud, "Hey pitmaster, you trying to give us all salmonella?" A few people laughed. Not with him. Dan looked at me through the window. I raised my glass. He came inside one more time. He said, "Lo, you did this on purpose?" I said, "I did nothing on purpose. That's the whole point. I stopped doing the thing you don't think I do." He said, "You could have reminded me." I said, "You could have thanked me once. In 9 years." He didn't have anything for that. They ordered pizza. 14 boxes. Dan paid for all of it standing in the driveway while his guests ate somebody else's food off his lawn chairs. The apron's still hanging in the garage. He hasn't touched the grill since.